Who was Jezebel? Jezebel, the worst woman in the Bible, is known for her ruthless domination, injustice, and manipulation. When we talk about terrible women from the Bible, the name Jezebel, the worst among them, immediately comes to mind. This Phoenician princess is known for her relentless domination, injustice, and manipulation. Jezebel was so infamous that her name became synonymous with wickedness. She didn't hesitate to kill innocents, as she did with Naboth, and sought to end the worship of God in Israel, relentlessly persecuting the prophets of the Lord, including the prophet Elijah. Her epic confrontation with the prophet forever marked the pages of biblical history. Over time, Jezebel became a symbol of spiritual corruption, idolatry, and evil. In this video, you will discover more about who Jezebel was and the terrible death of Jezebel according to the Bible. Subscribe to the channel and leave your like to help us spread this message to others. The origin of Jezebel. Among the records of the books of Kings, from the 16th chapter of the 1st to the 11th of the 2nd, we find the intriguing story of Jezebel in the Bible. She was the wife of Ahab, the king of Israel, during the period between 874 and 853 BC. However, before we delve into the terrible actions perpetrated by Jezebel in Israel, it is essential to understand her origins. The biblical narrative reveals that Jezebel was the daughter of Baal, the king of the Sidonians, who exercised control over the entire region of Phoenicia. Despite ascending to the royalty of Israel, she was a foreigner, belonging to a Phoenician clan. Her father's name itself, Baal, which means Baal is alive, gives us a clue about the religious influence permeating her household. Baal came to the throne after eliminating his predecessor, reigning for about 32 years. Baal was also a priest of the gods Astarte and Melkart. Perhaps Jezebel could have gone unnoticed by history if it weren't for her illegal marriage to the heir of King Omri of Israel. At that time, there was a prohibition against marriages between Hebrews and the Canaanite peoples of the Levant. However, the prince of Israel defied this prohibition by marrying the princess of the Sidonians, possibly to solidify a political and economic alliance between the two states. This marriage is believed to have been a kind of compensation for the hostility of Damascus against Israel, in an agreement promoted by Ahab's father to reaffirm an alliance between Tyre and Israel around 880 BC. The events that followed this marriage cast a perpetual shadow of shame over Jezebel's name. The union of Jezebel and Ahab. The union between Ahab and Jezebel marked the peak of wickedness and disloyalty in Israel. The Bible shows us that Ahab's evil deeds surpassed those of all his predecessors. Jezebel, a devotee of the Phoenician god Baal, ensured, through her marriage to Ahab, that she could continue to worship her native god, even in Samaria, her new home. She persuaded Ahab to build shrines for the worship of Baal, resulting in the arrival of hundreds of priests and prophets of her pagan religion into Israel. Jezebel led the people into apostasy, relying on 450 prophets of Baal and 400 prophets of Asherah. Jezebel and her personality. Jezebel was a manipulative fanatic in her religious beliefs. Moreover, she always displayed impulsivity and violence in her actions. The Bible shows us that at the beginning of her reign, her apparent demand was for equality for her God in relation to the God of Israel before the people. However, behind all this history, her true motivation was to completely end the worship of the God of Israel. So, Jezebel began a great persecution of the prophets of the Lord and ordered the execution of those who opposed her idolatrous practices, resulting in the massacre of hundreds of prophets, as recorded in the Bible passages. Jezebel's influence over Ahab, the king of Israel, was evident as the monarch allowed her to act according to her own desires. She had 3 sons with the king, Ahaziah, Jehoram, and Athaliah, although there is debate about Athaliah's true maternity. Jezebel also instructed her children according to her practices, and Athaliah, for example, perpetuated her reprehensible customs by marrying Jehoram, the son of Jehoshaphat, almost leading to the extinction of David's dynasty. It was during this period of great tension that the prophet Elijah appeared. Conflict between Jezebel and the prophet Elijah. Prophet Elijah was Jezebel's greatest enemy because he disagreed with her ways of worshiping other gods. One of the most famous moments in the Bible is when Elijah and the prophets of Baal had a competition on Mount Carmel to show who the true God was. When Elijah prayed, God sent fire from heaven, but the prophets of Baal were defeated. Still, Jezebel did not change her way of worshiping. She became even angrier and threatened to kill Elijah, who had to flee to Mount Horeb. Another story shows Jezebel's wickedness. She manipulated a false trial to take Naboth's vineyard, who wanted to keep his land. Naboth was killed and his vineyard was taken. These cruel acts brought terrible consequences for Ahab's family, which was punished by God. The terrible end of Jezebel. After Ahab's death, Jezebel still held enormous power in Israel during the reigns of her sons Ahaziah and Jehoram. But Jehu, an army officer chosen by God, changed the game by killing Jehoram and clearing Ahab's reign of her evil influence. Jehu took the throne and eliminated the worship of Baal. When he arrived at the palace in Jezreel, Jezebel awaited him, dressed in pomp, ready to confront him. However, her arrogance was rewarded with a terrible death. Jehu ordered her to be thrown out of the window of the palace tower. Her blood splattered on the walls and on the horses, and her body was trampled. Then Jehu ordered his men to bury Jezebel. He did not call her the queen of Israel, only the daughter of the king, reminding that she was the daughter of Ethbaal, king of Sidon, devoured by dogs. Elijah's prophecy was fulfilled, and the dogs ate Jezebel's flesh, a dishonorable death. Jezebel's negative influences persisted, corrupting not only her husband but the entire kingdom of Israel, contributing to its spiritual downfall. Moreover, her daughter married the son of King Jehoshaphat of Judah, almost leading to the extinction of David's house. Jezebel became a symbol of apostasy and immorality, an example of what happens when one opposes the will of God. Did you already know the story of Jezebel in the Bible? What do you think about her bad example? Don't forget to leave your like, share with friends, and help us spread this message to others.